Okay, all this footage was taken with a cell phone, and these were just pictures that I took while I was actually on the go in my boat. So some of them may be a little out of focus, but one of the things that I try to do is use my pictures and my footage for observational purposes. Um, Basically, people, I'm I really do consider myself more of an observer than anything else. Um, and I use my observations and my research and try to figure out, refraction, diffraction, and whatnot. But, even with these pictures, you can see how that light, the farther back I, pull my zoom back, how the light is actually drugged down, uh, downward, not upward. So you can use these for research, whatever you want. But I it's kind of hard for me sometimes to put things in words. But as you see, as I zoom in on the sun, how the light itself rises up, and you start getting the silhouette of the sun, showing you that it is very much up off the water. Um, so like I said, when I zoom back on it, it looks like it's much closer to the water than what it actually is. And, like I said, I was doing this while the boat was in motion. My friend, he's steering the boat as I'm taking pictures. Um, but I'm sitting in the driver's seat, of course. Um, but, he laughs sometimes when I'm out here and I take pictures or videos while we're fishing. But here's a part while I'm actually moving in the boat, and I slowed this down by 50%. Otherwise, it was just way too much bouncing. Um, you can see that the water isn't perfectly smooth. So, of course, we get some bounciness, and you can also look at the light that the sun is drawing toward the boat. Um, and you can also see as I zoom back how the light itself looks like it's closer to the water, but as I zoom in, you can see that it rises back up. All right, so when we use cameras, um, especially if I use a P900, of course I'm going to zoom in a lot farther, and that sun is going to rise up even much higher because, of course, I'm getting zoomed in further. But with a cell phone, it's a little harder to do or show because I only got 4x zoom on this camera. But it's pretty interesting footage, and I do this almost all the time that I go out fishing, but I don't share a lot of them with people. I use a lot of it for my own purposes and my own research, my own observational stuff. Now, this next part right here, all right, I actually stop the boat and start filming. Now, as you look at the sun, and I get a little out of focus here and there on it. Of course, when you're trying to zoom in, sometimes the focus just doesn't grab hold just right. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the way my camera is positioned. It doesn't quite have something to focus on, so it's trying to focus, but it does focus in. Now, you look at the sun here, and the sun isn't really even on the edge of the water. It's still up off the water. Even though I zoomed in, it looks like it's touching the water. But visually, with my eyes, I mean, I could obviously tell that the sun hadn't gotten to the edge of the water quite yet. So, of course, it's, again, the light is getting drawn down, not drawn up. So, is it refracted light or diffracted light? you know, and these are good questions, because when you research and find out, you know, what refraction and diffraction is, you know, you get a description, and you know, you use that to try to determine what you're actually seeing. Um, and I, you know, I see things in a different way. I don't know, maybe it's just a way that I see how perspective works. Other people see it a different way, which is fine. And you know what I hate is some of the division that's going on in the flat Earth community. Um, but this next part here, I leave the original audio on, so I'm going to stop talking now. Look at these little damn gnats right here flying around. People call them UFOs, dude. Come on, get back into focus.
Well, I'm out here with Dave, and I figured I'd turn my phone on too. I'm supposed to be going fishing, but of course, you know, we gotta take some video here of this sunset. I'm missing the
sun departure.
I'm missing the prime time of the bite. If we swing around this way and look way over there, if you maybe see, well, I don't know, if I zoom in, you might see the flashing lights. Filmers is like way over there, like another 15 minutes. But no, we have to stop so we can see this sunset. I've seen the sunrise, I've seen the sunset. The only thing that I think would really be cool is to see that,
the Earth flat?
No.
The flat Earth sunset?
No, that polar sunrise, that knows where all the rainbows are. What's that called? With all the different colors in the sky.
The sun dogs.
Well, no.
The Aurora Borealis.
It only happens in one area.
The Aurora Borealis.
Oh, okay. Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis.
See, look, now the sun's sitting. We are now approximately burning Mexico.
The sun is on the other side of Mexico.
You can hear the little Chicanos screaming now. Okay, I'm shutting the phone off. Goodbye.
Oh, come on, focus. Focus. One time around, Jimmy. To show the horizon. And I don't want to see your American bird.
Okay, how about this?
Or your devil ears, horns.
Okay, how about this?
Your peace sign, that's cool.
I swear to God, what are we playing? Ring Around the Rosie here, man?
I come to get you.
Now where are you going?
Back around the other way.
Oh my God.
One more 360.
And he's gonna trip over the anchor line
and there.
Fall flat on his face, and his camera's gonna fall in the water.
And I lost. No, I didn't drop my camera. And a couple of these pictures right here I did on the go too. So as we were heading to our fishing spot, I was just clicking away with the camera, trying to catch these corpuscular rays that I could see. Was a little hard to get with the camera, but as you've seen in the closer zoom, I got in there and you could actually see them, like right here. They're not the best, but you know, they are corpuscular rays that you can see, or anti-corpuscular rays, I should call them. You know, again, we were moving, so they didn't come out quite as nice. All right, now we get into our fishing spot, and of course here I have a little issue with my focus right at first. I think it's because I tried to zoom in before turning it on to record. So it takes a little bit here for the camera to actually get into focus. But you can see this sky and how the light reacts to the camera as I turn the camera away. And you know, this is pretty beautiful night out there. You know, the sky was this pinkish purplish color, which the camera didn't quite pick up the color as well, but I think it did a pretty good job. So I didn't mess around with any of the contrast, brightness, or anything until one other part in a different, uh, uh, not this part of the video, but I do another part a little bit later where I do brighten it up in just one little section just to show you a 360 turn. When I turn to the darkness, you'll see how dark it actually is behind us in the east compared to how bright it is in the west. Again, here I got another little portion of original audio I'm going to leave on. So I'll stop talking again right now and let you listen to the original audio.
Skipping across the water and you're over there taking pictures.
Video. I'm doing video now again. Come on, get in focus. I hate it when it goes out of focus. I don't know, but a mosquito just flew right into my ear. There's that. Stay in focus. Stay in focus. Doing 1 360. Then I'm going fishing. Damn it. Wow.
He's gonna be going fishing.
Yeah, I almost was the fishing. Step in the back hole of my boat here.
Yeah, he's gonna be going fishing, alright.
Yeah, that's at 1.6 zoom.
Okay, me and my friend are always joking around with each other. Here's some more pictures that I took. We're always joking around with each other, and sometimes he gets mad when I start filming or taking pictures because I'm not fishing. But we actually had a pretty good night fishing. Caught a few snook. I actually hooked onto a nice little over 32-inch snook. Gave me one hell of a fight. And my friend, he had an inshore slam, which is a trout, a redfish, and a snook. So he actually kicked my ass. I did catch a few more snook than he did, but they were a little smaller snook. I was supposed to take a couple pictures of them, but you know, we forgot. And also, you know, I do a lot of catch and release, so you know, I don't like to really handle the fish because that can actually cause issues with them and they could die. Now, this one video, or this one picture I took, I actually stuck my phone almost down to the water, and I took this picture right here to give you a different perspective of if, you know, say you were a frog sticking its head up out of the water, this is what you would see. And then, of course, I stuck in a few pictures of the moon here. They're a little harder to catch on a cell phone because a lot of times they're blurry like that one, but every now and then I'll get actually a good focus like this one. I caught it pretty good. Then I, you know, just go back to filming what the sky looked like in different areas of the sky. And I don't always put, you know, a lot of these pictures on my videos, but I thought it was pretty nice. I do have a setting that I can change the exposure level of the light. I didn't use that much. Matter of fact, the ones that I did use on it, I deleted because they didn't really come out too well. So I was like, I'm not going to add them into here. I mean, I put it too dark, and the whole sky looked more red than it did the original actual what we were seeing. And that's what I try to do. I get my camera, try to get it at the right setting to where what I'm seeing is what my camera is actually picking up. But you can also tell as I turn my camera how the light changes in the lens of the camera. That's because it's coming in on a different angle of light. Plus, too, you know, you can look at the reflection of the clouds off the water, and this is something too that, you know, I always look at the mirroring, how the water creates this mirroring effect. And if water creates this mirroring effect, what's in our sky? The sky also is full of water molecules. So, you know, you have evaporated water that's up there. Can the sky also be creating some kind of a mirroring effect of the sunlight? That, you know, is a whole nother ball game, but I think it's a possibility that our sky could be, you know, causing a mirroring effect in one way or another. And this is why people that are outside the equator see things backwards from what we see it. So just my theory, just my thought, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that I believe this 100%, but it's something to think about. And, you know, when we get with people that want to, you know, say, well, explain how, you know, people in the southern hemisphere see the stars spinning backwards. Well, you know, if you look to the north, the stars come from right to left. If you look from the south, the stars comes left to right. So they're backwards depending on your perspective and the way, the direction that you're looking. What I love about my pictures is the reflections, how you get the reflections off the water of the sky. So again, you know, I do these for observational purposes and for people that, you know, want to use them for research. That's what my channel is mainly based upon, is for people to be able to do their own research. And I try to keep my stuff as raw as possible. Now I got some original audio coming up in this next video too, so I'll let it go back to that. Actually, I'm going to talk over this a little bit because it's just mainly wind. My fishing partner here, he's not a flat earther, but he doesn't ridicule me or mock me or, you know, downgrade me due to this, you know, difference of opinion. And it's good. Now you see this part here as I do the 360, how dark the eastern horizon is, or the horizontal plane is. So what I did in a short part of this video is I increased the brightness just to make it to where you could see a little bit better. But look at this. I mean, it was an actually beautiful night, and I love it when I'm out here on the water fishing. And that's why I tell people I'm very, very familiar with water. This water, 10 miles out from Bayport and 10 miles north and south of Bayport. I've fished these areas for over 25 years, so I'm very familiar with the area. So, you know, people wanting to say that I don't know what I'm talking about in some of the distances that I refer to, well, they're very wrong. I do know quite a bit.
2.5 zoom right there. All the frickin' cell towers out here that you can see. It's crazy. There's cell tower galore. You know, I was thinking about that. That's why I get a better signal out here than we do right there at Jenkins Creek area.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy when you look at how I can get Wi-Fi right here, but I can't in other places.
Like firing up the race car doing some burnouts. I love that sound. The old lady said she wants to go to the Soto Speedway. I said, game on.
Yeah, it's starting to get grainy looking. Once it gets so to a certain darkness, on any zoom it gets grainy looking.
Okay, I don't hold no copyrights, or I try not to hold any copyrights. I allow anybody to use any of my footage, especially if they want to use it for research. That's what my whole channel is about. Is observational videos. Globers can use them, concavers can use them, flat earthers can use them. I don't care. I'm not holding no copyright. You can like, share, subscribe. Do as you please with them. You want to give me credit, that's great, man. I appreciate the people that give me credit for my hard work, because it isn't just taking the video, it's also spending the time to convert it and then put it on YouTube. But this is the original When I Look to the East. That what you can see, it ain't much out there. All I get to see a lot of times is just that little bit of light coming off of some of the cell towers and whatnot. But well, I'm gonna say goodbye here, and like, subscribe, share, and I hope you enjoyed my little observational video. And I get to see this almost every week when I do go fishing, and I really do enjoy my view while I'm fishing. And I fish and I look around, and that's just that's me, I guess.